Hello guys, S2W here as your average consumer with your next casual consumer's perspective review. In this video, I will be covering a sneaker that Adidas has decided to introduce their first major upgrade to it. It's one of the sneakers that got a lot of attention when it first released in 2016, but not a lot of fans because of the constant boost cushioning popularity that overtook everything's fame. Made originally for performance running while crossing the theme of fashion and now crossing over to the theme of cross-training, today I have the Adidas Alphabounce Beyond here for a review. Now in my honest opinion, I think that the traditional Alphabounce was a really decent comfy shoe. I personally have the OG Aramis pair and I still wear them daily as a beater with no problems at all. And now it looks like it's time for them to elevate this model with a newly revamped construction. From what I understand, their vision this time around was not only focused on performance running, but also wanted to identify as a model for casual runners as well. What have they redone on this second iteration compared to the first? Let's take a closer look at these sneakers. At first glance, they pretty much shadow the original shape of its predecessor. However, there's quite a few redesign on this pair once you take a second look. Built with the same Aramis tech used on the first model, which was a motion capturing system to check out runners' running formation, the upper here is engineered with the utmost precision for support and expansion where it needs to be. Now the upper on this new silhouette is made out of forged mesh upper, which is the same material used on the first model, known for its thicker textile for enhanced support needed for a running shoe like this. Although it's thick, there's still a little bit of stretch in the fabric that allows our feet to maneuver for a sock-like snug fit. On the first model though, the whole upper was mostly seamless, but on these Alphabounce Beyond, it seems like it's made out of two layers, having the first gray textile envelop most of the upper from the front to back, with the second black layer forming the tongue and the edges of the shoe collar stitched under the gray panel. We also continue to see a similar motif here with the signature ribbed out texture along the sides of the shoe, offering that aggressive yet streamlined feel related to a sport as swift as running. Wherever you see these ribbed texture is where the shoe gets a little bit more structural integrity, offering area of support where it needs the most. Also, the upper has this unique visual decoration as well, sprinkled in with multiple tiny lines over the top layer of this shoe, at least for this colorway. The sneakers came laced up with their standard flat laces, slipping through the upper surrounded by sections of sleek see-through overlays around the eye stays, which really fortifies the gap when we tighten up the shoes to minimize damage. A closer look at the tongue will show us a softer part of the mesh upper when compared to the gray layer, adhered with a bold Adidas 3 stripes branding patch over the surface. At the back of the shoes, the similar design of the first model is depicted here as well. We'll see a prominent pull tab that allows us to yank the opening of the shoes more easily for quick entry, with an additional heel pull that can be used as well. The heel pull is decorated with a stripe of color-changing Xeno material, and to my surprise, they are actually 3M reflective when I shine my flash on it. And by doing this, I found out that the Adidas patch on the tongue is actually reflective too apparently. Moving on, personally, I would say the major change on the model seems to be the bottom half of the sneakers, midsole and the outsole of the shoes. The midsole is still continually made out of a foam called Bounce, which is one of Adidas' cushioning tech that provides an elastic and responsive stride on feet. Although it's nowhere as soft or compressive as Adidas' Boost material, this foam feels decent on feet against floor, providing an overall firm, energized, and supportive comfort. Now, the first updated change comes from the heel counter, where it has been reinforced on the side profile rather than putting emphasis at the back. It rises quite high up that I believe will enhance the stability of the shoes, especially during multi-directional movement and moments with quick cuts. The second upgrade is the shape of the foam. From top view, we can clearly see that the midsole extends beyond the edges of the upper with a wider shape, likely to increase the overall stability again of each step that we take. The third difference is the outsole material, where they have embedded pieces of Continental rubber all under the sneaker. The company Continental is known for making car tires, so you'll know how grippy this traction will be when placed under our feet. Lastly, inside the shoe, it comes with removable insoles just like its predecessor, with a large heavy bounce branding printed on the heel area. The design of this font is pretty strategic. As I'm flipping the insole around, you can still read the word bounce. Also, the fabric around the inner walls of the heel and ankle region is slightly cushioned for comfort as well. This puffy coating is also found under the back of the tongue. Anyways, here are some Adidas Alphabounce Beyond fit footage. Fit-wise, the initial Alphabounce fitted big in the sense that it's long, so it wasn't strange for people to wear them half size down. There's a certain narrowness to it though, so for wide footers like me, may like to wear them at true to size with some tightness. For this new version, because the midsole now had widened, true to size felt great. I would assume narrow feet may still want to stick with their half size down, but if you're unsure, true to size can't go wrong. If anything, they're not sought out after at all, so go check them out in store and feel them on feet. Comfort wise, as a wide footer myself, this shoe is just a lot more form-fitting and comfortable all around the feet. Just like the first model, the whole upper inside the shoe is seamless, so even though it looks like the tongue is a separate piece here, the feeling on feet is as relaxed as wearing a sock. Furthermore, we will feel the widened midsole strike against the ground a lot more around the edges of our feet for heightened stability, and we can immediately feel the exceptional grippy properties of the Continental rubber outsole on feet. The overall delivery of these new improvements just beats the previous model. Not by a ton, but it's an upgrade nonetheless. Price-wise, these were $150 Canadian before tax, a $10 markup from the previous Alphabounce. Not a huge increase markup, the newer is better and in this case, will relate to the sneaker. I personally also think that the overall design looks a lot more streamlined and modern looking than the first, but beauty is on the eye of the beholder, so I'll leave that up to you to decide. Keep in mind though, Adidas initially created the Alphabounce for performance running. They have now evolved it into a shoe where not only running is a strong suit, but now it's also an enhanced stabilized sneaker that can be used for cross-training purposes now. It's great for both physical activities and casual, especially for those who don't want to use this strictly for running but as a multi-purpose shoe. On the other hand, Boost sneakers may be more comfy, but they are also more expensive, especially those with squishy properties. This shoe makes a great everyday shoe to wear, especially for kids in school and parents who don't want to spend that much on sneakers for their kids. The cushioning is durable even with my 1-year usage on my first model, so I expect it to be the same on this new version. Anyways, throw me some likes if you like this video, and let me know in the comments if you think this upgrade to the Alphabounce looks better than the first or not. That's it for today. S2W signing off.